Hi guys, we're going to be reading Chapter 8, The Ultra Glide from the Watsons Go to Birmingham, 1963. I don't know why we didn't catch on that something different was really going to happen this time. Mama and Dad started acting real strange after they would talk to Grandma Sands. First, Mama started writing in a notebook and adding things up and subtracting things. Then Daddy and Joey and Rufus and me started driving all over Flint buying things for the brown bomber. We stopped at Genji's junkyard and bought a new antenna for the radio and 4 new used tires. Then we stopped at Mr. Biller's garage and had the tires put on the car. Then we stopped at the Yankee store and bought some spark plugs and some oil and antifreeze. Then we got on our next door neighbor, Mr. Johnson, to help put all that stuff in the car. Then we washed and waxed the brown bomber. While Byron walked by, we were working on it, and he said, "Y'all done real good. It still looks like a turd on wheels, but I gotta admit, now it looks like a polished turd." We ignored him. While Joey cleaned the windows, me and Rufus washed the seats, even the parts that were torn and worn away. But the more we washed them, the worse they looked, and Dad ended up going back to the Yankee store and buying some brown and white seat covers for the front seat. The brown bomber looked great. Not almost new, but not almost 15 years old either. We brought out Mama to show it to her, and she gave us one of those big hand-over-her-mouth smiles. "Well, folks," Dad said, and we all knew he was getting ready to cut up. "All it needs now is that final touch, that special something that sets it apart from all the other buckets of bolts on the road. The one piece of all-American engineering that shows that this fine automobile is worthy of the name Brown Bomber. Any guesses as to what it is?" "A new hood thing?" I asked. The thing in the middle of the hood was a long chrome rocket that pointed over the road. The only thing that was wrong with it was that one of the wings of the rocket was broken off. Like with everything else, Dad had a crazy explanation for that. He told us that right after he got the car from Uncle Bud, both wings were there, but had been taken off in a large special garage, and one wing scientifically and mathematically taken off. When we asked him why, he told us that way when we came back from a long trip, we'd be coming in on a wing and a prayer. That's the kind of junk Dad thinks is funny. "No," Dad answered my question. "It's not a new hood thing. The one on there is perfectly fine. Joey, what's your guess?" "I don't know, Daddy. I don't think anything can make the brown bomber any better. I think it's perfect." "Bless you, sweetheart. Rufus, your turn. What do you think?" "I don't know, Mr. Watson. I like y'all's car just fine." I knew there was something I liked about that boy. "All right, well, Nona, what's your guess?" "I don't know either," Mama said, and rolled her eyes. "I think the car is purr. Mom was cutting up too. "Oh my goodness, I just can't say it." "Real cute, Will Nona. Well, since Kenneth and Mama have insulted the great brown one, I guess that leaves it to Rufus and Pumpkin to put the final piece on." Dad handed the keys to Rufus. "Rufus, you open the trunk. And Pumpkin, there's a small bag in there. You have the honor of putting what's on inside." Rufus popped the trunk open, and Joey took a small paper bag out. She turned her back to everyone and looked inside. "Ooh, Daddy, I love it. Do you know where it goes?" "Yes, Daddy." "Okay, time's a-wasting. Put it on." She put her hand in the bag and, without pulling it out, said, "And now, the thing that makes the car more perfect." Dad started helping Joey cut up. He said, "The final touch." Joey repeated, "The final touch. The height of technology. The height of technology. The ultimate in American knowledge. The ultimate in American knowledge." Mama couldn't take it anymore. "For God's sakes, Daniel, what is it?" "It's the pinnacle of Western civilization. It's the peen of Western civilization." "Now, Joey, dazzle 'em, girl." Joey pulled her hand out of the bag and said, "It's a smelly green pine tree." Mama went, "Ugh," and walked back into the house. Joey hung the smelly green pine tree from the rearview mirror and scooted out of the car and let me and Rufus smell our fingers. But Dad wasn't through adding things to the brown bomber. One Saturday morning, Joey and me got up real early to watch cartoons, and Daddy was already brushing his teeth and shaving. I went into the bathroom to watch him. I love the way shaving soap smells. Hi, Dad. Morning, Kenny. How'd you sleep? Dad said this with his toothbrush in his mouth. Oh, I guess. Okay. Then Dad pulled out one of his famous tricks on me. He said, Kenny, look, and pointed to the hallway. Even before I could think, I turned my head around and I followed Dad's finger. When I saw nothing and looked back, Dad was smiling a mile a minute, acting like he hadn't done anything. But I noticed his toothbrush was gone. I let him know he didn't fool me. Dad, how come you always hide your toothbrush? Why don't you keep yours with ours? Dad laughed. Well, Kenny, I guess I don't keep my toothbrush with the rest of yours because unlike your mother, I was a little boy once myself. I thought about this for a second and then said, what does that mean? Dad picked up the toothbrush and said, look at this thing. Not only is it a perfect instrument for brushing teeth, it has other wonderful uses too. You see, Kenny, I know that in a little boy's eyes, there isn't anything in the world that is better for general cleaning than a toothbrush. And the greatest thing is that after a good rinse, no one can tell what it was used for. I also know that the best toothbrush for cleaning stuff is always someone else's. So rather than wondering what my toothbrush has last cleaned, I think it's better that it only goes in places that I know about. Dad was right. I caught Byron once using mine to shine up some quarters and another time to brush Blackie's teeth. I didn't really care, but Blackie didn't like it. That was the only time he ever growled at someone in his own family. Dad was stirring the soap dish up with his shaving brush, and I got close to the sink to smell the soap. Dad painted his face with the soap and then bent down and rinsed it off. I know it sounds crazy, but he always did this twice. He said it made your beard really super soft. He learned that because he used to work in the barber shop when he was a little boy. There was also where he learned that if you are in a barber shop, you have to make your neck real clean. Otherwise, barbers talk about you like a dog after you leave. So, Dad said as he put the second coat of soap on his face, let me guess why you're standing so close. Could it be that you want me to soap your face up and hold you up while you shave it off? It's been a long time since we've done that. Aw, man, I'm too old for that. Besides, I'm starting to get a real little mustache. Look, I stuck my upper lip out for Dad to see. Where? Dad leaned down and looked real hard. I can't see it. Here, maybe if you get a little closer to the light. Dad bent over and picked me up in the mirror. I automatically turned my head sideways when I saw my reflection. Some of the time I forgot about my lazy eye. Well, I don't believe it. If you squint your eyes and look real hard, there's no doubt about it. This boy's got a real mustache going on here. I didn't know if Dad really could see it or not, but he put me down. Won't be long before we have to share the mirror in the morning, huh? I couldn't help it. Even though I knew he might be kidding, I broke out in a real big smile and nodded my head up and down. Dad started shaving. Well, just so there's no problems, I get seniority on you. So I get the bathroom first. Deal? Deal. When Dad finished, he asked me, you too old for a little Old Spice? He slapped the cologne on me and said, I don't want your mother to know I put aftershave on you. What, with you smelling so good and that new mustache coming out? I don't want her blaming me when all the little girls start attacking you. I twisted my face up. We walked into the living room to watch cartoons, but when we got there, Dad kept going and said, if your mother gets up before I'm back, just tell her I won't be long. Where you going, Daddy? Joey asked. Dad gave his famous answer, out, and closed the door behind him. All right, I'm going to stop there for today. I'm sorry about the guy doing his leaves, but